Thanks for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I am Nikki Maduro. She is the fabulous Kim McAllister. Thank you for joining us on this very hot in the Bay Area Thursday afternoon. It is hot here. I'm assuming it's hot where you are up in Petaluma.
It's really hot here.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it was hot or if I was just having a menopause hot flash, but I think it's both. I think we're doing both over here.
Vinia says it's 101. Where I don't know where you are. It's not 101 where I am, but it feels like it. And so, well, before I get to it, we got to get the business out of the way. Click the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the show. We love seeing you all here. I think Ricky made it here to join us live. Thank you, thank you. Yay. Hello, Ricky. We've been missing you so much. Please like and subscribe the show. We really appreciate it. And I've been missing giving some shout outs to our PayPal subscribers.
Okay.
We love our PayPal subscribers. We love all of our subscribers and all of our donors, but PayPal takes like nothing, especially when you do friends and family. And so we love our PayPal. And I want to just give shout outs to our big monthly subscribers, Rita, Karen, also David, Damien. You guys have been coming through big for us. And we just really, really appreciate you guys so much. And everybody that donates during the show with the super stickers and the super chat. So thank you guys so very much. Okay. So I have been on a kick lately. You guys know I love my Maduro mule. I'm also just going to preface this also before I get to my drink. My internet's been sucking lately. So if I have an issue, I'll be back. Okay. I have been on a kick lately with not my Maduro mule, but Aperol Spritz. Does anybody like Aperol Spritz? Tell me in the comments.
Is Aperol bitter?
Yes. It has like an orangey bitter kind of thing. Okay. I had a mom friend. I mean, she's still my mom friend. Every time we would go out, she would order it. She would always order the Aperol Spritz. I have one right here, baby. Thank you. And so eventually I was like, let me take a sip of it. When we were out on our road trip, I eventually got tired of my drink. I was like, you know what? But I wanted cocktails. And eventually I started ordering Aperol Spritz. It's not the easiest drink to make at home because like you need champagne. And once you pop the champagne, it's like, are you really going to drink an entire bottle of champagne to your head? I went to the grocery store today and they have pre-made.
Oh, look at you found.
Now I Googled it. When I was in the store, I'm like, there was only 1 4-pack of these in the entire store. So I go online and I go, are these any good? I am telling you, at least according to social media people, very, very good. Now, I have not had any of these. I am trying it fresh with you guys. I'm supposed to have like an orange slice in it. You know what I mean?
Are you supposed to spruce it up, like throw an orange and peel in there, or like something fancy?
Orange in it or whatever. But I'm not getting fancy over here. So it's like it's nice and bubbly. I put some crushed ice. That's as fancy as I got.
What are we thinking?
It's nice. I mean, it's not as good as if you go to the.
Sure.
But it's not. It's very, very good. It is so, Kim.
It's also probably a lot less expensive too, I'm betting.
I mean, but I got to go slow. This is 9% alcohol. So, you know, you can't be drinking these every day. You know what I mean? Definitely not. It's like one and done over these. You got to stay home while you're drinking them. But I've been just loving my Aperol Spritz. So if you're looking for a new cocktail, especially on a hot day, right there. Absolutely loving it. So anyways, welcome to the show. We have a lot to talk about. I was seeing in the comments before we get to, you know, obviously everything to do with this gerrymandering debate, whether or not Texas is ever going to give it up. I saw and I watched the latest South Park episode.
I have not seen it yet, but I heard is it pretty raunchy?
It's hilarious. And honestly, because of this other video that I just saw as well, and I just watched it today. I don't watch these things live, obviously. It had a lot to do with ICE and debating and, you know, all kinds of things. But it had a lot to do with ICE and Kristi Noem and plastic surgery and her face melting off and all sorts of stuff, right? Now, I can't play it for you or I'll get dinged, right? But did you see this video? And this is why I thought it was very, you know, timely. Oh, hold on. Did you see that this not really popular actor anymore has just announced that he's joining ICE?
Yes, but
Dean Cain here. And for those who don't know,
I know.
I am a sworn law enforcement officer as well as being a filmmaker. I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just talk about it. So I joined up. And here's your opportunity to join ICE.
ICE.
You can earn lots of great benefits and pay. Yeah, since President Trump took office, ICE has arrested hundreds of thousands of criminals, including terrorists, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, drug traffickers, you name it, very dangerous people who are no longer on the streets. You can defend your homeland and get great benefits like a $50,000 signing bonus. Think about that. Student loan repayment legally, enhanced retirement benefits, and special pay for those in the field operations and law enforcement roles. I don't get that special pay, but you also don't need an undergraduate degree. You can get to work right away. So if you want to help save America, ICE is arresting the worst of the worst and removing them from America's streets. I like that. I voted for that. They need your help. We need your help to protect our homeland and our families. So check into it, as I said, and join today if it's something that tickles your fancy, because we can use you.
Give me a friggin' break. Okay. So now I was seeing that there was some caveats to him, whether or not he was actually joining or not, or if he was just kind of doing this commercial.
Public relations.
Yeah. Like if he was really just doing this kind of public relations. Exactly. Well said. How do you feel about this? Obviously Dean Cain's a douche canoe. We just knew this, right?
Yeah,
like he's just.
He moved to Nevada because California was too liberal.
And that's his prerogative. He is totally, it is within his rights to do that.
He's very MAGA. He's a MAGA guy. Yeah.
But it's one of these things where he's kind of rolling up the ladder, right? And it, again, doing these sorts of commercials, when you look at the statistics, when he's laundry listing all of the people that have been arrested by ICE and the criminals, is such a smaller percentage than the people that are just law-abiding citizens, just working hard. They haven't done anything wrong. The only crime they've committed is that they're in the country, quote unquote, illegally. That's it. That is the only crime they've committed. They're not gang members. They're not rapists. They're just hard-working people that came here for a better life. They've been here for decades with their families. And the only crime is that they're here without papers.
In that laundry list of crimes he read off, I thought I saw the pedophile word. And if we're really concerned about those folks, then why are we giving Ghislaine Maxwell cush at a prison camp instead of the prison she was in? Why haven't we released the files? And why hasn't Trump talked a little bit more about his involvement with Epstein and who he is? One of the things about Dean Cain, though, is I read this morning that he's being sworn in as a law enforcement officer and he's joining up with ICE and all of this. And it made it seem like he was going to be going out on call after call after call. And then I read a story that says he's an honorary ICE.
Yeah, that's why I was reading that as well. I'm like, he's not really gonna, not gonna put the mask on. He's not gonna get doxxed. You know what I mean?
How much really are you going to do? Someone in the chat said, what a career-ending move. I think his career was already on the fritz. Exactly. After Superman, which I really did like Superman. I thought that was a good show. That version of Superman. After that, what did he do? Like a series of
I have no idea
for TV movies and Hallmark stuff.
Exactly.
And then he fizzled out and he went away. He was a really good looking guy way back when.
Yeah.
And now
he's still not a bad looking guy. I'm not going to knock. He looks uglier to me now that he's given that speech. It's one of I can't support the way ICE is doing Trump's business, right? Because again, we can talk about the number of people that have been deported under Biden and Obama every day of the week. We can always do it because a lot of people were, but they had due process and they did it above board. There's a reason Trump wants to do it, is because he used all of this fiery language, and he's not and he's not able to meet this quota that he's set up because there weren't enough criminals and MS-13 and all the BS he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was much younger in that picture right there, though.
That's him in his Superman days.
It
doesn't go all the way. He's not a full picture, though. We can't see the rest of him.
You know, and it's so funny. You think that when you look at actors and actresses, you think they're a certain way, and they don't have to be. Going off just a little bit on the tangent we talked about last week with Sydney Sweeney. In the week since, she's come out as a Republican, you've heard, and Donald Trump now loves her. Oh, she's excellent. And this is the thing. Like, who gives a shit if she's a Republican? Like, people are like attacking her now. She's allowed to be a Republican. I don't understand how you could be a Republican in 2025. I think the party is absolutely ridiculous. The Republican Party has jumped the shark, and that's the nicest way I can put it. You know what I mean? Like, how can you be a Republican in 2025? They have no platform other than bend the knee to Donald Trump. That is it. They don't believe in the Constitution. That's for sure. They don't believe in fiscal responsibility because that big, beautiful bill and tariffs, I mean, undermined all of that. So what is the Republican Party? Nothing except whatever Donald Trump says we will do. So I don't know why you would want to be a Republican unless you believe everything Donald Trump is doing. And if that is what you support, then yeah, I have a problem with you. That's it, you know, but I'm not going to vilify Sydney Sweeney just simply because she registered as a Republican. I don't know her. It's weird. And she lives in Florida. I mean, I guess.
What do you expect?
Exactly. Ooh,
Sorry, Wes.
He gained some weight. He's lost weight since this picture to the one he just did.
Dean Cain. Yeah. Dean Cain. I don't know. We've had debates over at my house over ICE. And my husband is like, well, do you think that we don't need ICE at all then? And I don't think so, because these ICE agents are I'll say they're being vilified in some circles. And there are people that have worked for ICE for a long time that probably have done a good job, that probably have treated people with kindness. And what they signed up for is now not what's happening. Right. Now ICE is something else. Do I think that we need immigration and customs enforcement? Sure. Yes. Do I think there are criminals that that shouldn't be here, or people that overstay their welcome? Sure. All of this is true. Do I think we need to spend $1 gazillion on extra ICE agents to arrest the nanny or the lady that works at the daycare center or the woman who's trying to put food on the table by cleaning houses or the guys who are standing in the Home Depot parking lot or whatever, or the person who's, I don't know, selling your groceries or working at the doctor's office? These people are coming here to work. They're everywhere. They're not doing anything wrong. I read a story about this woman who has been here for 13 years, never has done anything wrong, picked up by ICE. Her family has no idea what's happening. She had little kids at home. Gone. She's just poof away.
Yeah. And you know what I also don't think? I don't think the job of being an ICE agent is so important that it now qualifies you under Trump's eyes for student loan forgiveness.
Right.
So you're telling me, after all of the argument of how it's theft and how the taxpayer shouldn't be on the hook, you got that loan, you should pay that loan. But now the one job that rises to the level, it's not a teacher, it's not a doctor. The one holy job is an ICE agent?
No.
Are you freaking kidding me right now?
$50,000 bonus they're luring our cops in our communities away to do this work with ICE.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know about you, but less than a year ago, we were talking about shortages at police departments everywhere. So instead of policing communities and offering peace officer services in many communities, you're taking these people away to arrest who?
Yeah.
Again, I don't think that it's not a case that we don't need to have immigration and customs enforcement. Obviously, every country, most countries do, and we need to. But the brutality and the the strategy for the current method of doing that
Yeah.
doesn't sit right with me at all.
Yeah. And Heather, you're right. Immigration is literally at the bottom of my list of concerns right now. I agree. And I think it was Vicky saying earlier, yeah, there is a problem of choosing to be a Republican. I was saying that because I don't want to live in a country in which I'm saying you have to be a Democrat or you cannot be of a certain party. That's what I mean. I mean, if you're making that choice, make that choice. I mean, I am allowed to now judge you on it, but I also just, I guess I'm just exhausted about every time somebody says I'm a Republican, everyone has to be up in arms about it. Sydney Sweeney is a Republican. Okay, that's it. We don't need to make every,
thank you for letting us know. It just shows us, shows us who you are. It's like the guy that's like, I don't know, I want to say 8 blocks from me, who's got a Trump 2028 flag flying in the yard. My husband's like, we should sneak in at night and take it down. Or I'm like, no, we should not. We should
just know he's mentally ill. That's all. Stay away.
So everyone knows exactly who that guy is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, exactly. You put that in the vault. Like, I now know this about you. And that's it. That's all I need to do with that information. I don't need to, I don't need to every time you come up on my screen, scream and yell about you. And especially because we also don't know if she voted for Trump. I would imagine if you're a Republican and you moved to Florida, you did. But they didn't say, at least the last article I read, they just said she was a Republican. I don't know why you would not vote for Trump then, but whatever.
Teacher Lori has a comment. She says they're pulling FEMA workers to help with immigration. Let's see how storm victims have delays because not enough FEMA workers. And I'll put this question to you because I think you might have muted yourself, but I'll put this question to you because you said you didn't care if someone was a Republican or not. Just let them be, let them do. And this is really a comparison to something that I'm not sure if I am ready to say it's super comparable or not, but Vicky says, would you judge someone in the Nazi party, Nikki?
Well, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I understand why you're asking that question. And I know that we're making, nowadays it seems like a apples to apples comparison, right?
Yeah.
It goes in the vault. It's the same thing, right? And you guys know why, because I have a very close family member who is a Trumper, is a huge Trumper, and I have to live a life with that knowledge. And it's more than one family member, guys. It is more than one family member in my life that is. And I just have to, like it's to compartmentalize life, I have to. So I guess maybe that's why I might see it that way, because in all honesty, there is a significant part of me that would love to step through the threshold every day and fight that fight. But it would drain me, and there's just not enough life on that side left to have that fight. And I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
A lot of us have family members like that. But Heather says, I'm judging anyone who aligns themselves with the party that is allowing this nonsense to continue. They're enablers for fascism. And while I wouldn't say Republicans are akin to the Nazi party, I will say I see it going that way. And things that are happening are headed straight barreling down in that direction. And it gives me a lot of concern. But yet, I have family members. I have a really wonderful uncle. I don't know, I'm assuming he voted for Trump. I don't think he wears the red hat, but he's definitely Republican in nature and Trumpian. And, we've had talks and stuff before. And what's interesting, he's the kindest, most generous, most loving man. And then he has these opinions on things like this, and it just doesn't jibe for me. So I love the person, and I love so many things about the person, which makes it harder for me to just judge based on the Republican Party thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's hard because at what point do you look at the person? You get into these online debates with people. I just got into one with a guy that's, a part of my extended friend group over the years, and they always bring up Trump derangement syndrome. And I always say the same thing. It's not Trump that makes me upset. It's what he's done to the people that I know That's where the upsetness comes from. I could give two rats ass about Trump. I mean, I do, but that's not where the emotion is.
Yeah.
It's what he's done to the people I care about, who I thought had certain morals, who believed life should be a certain way, who I thought were actual Americans. Like, if you don't believe in American values, fucking leave. But I thought we believed in the Constitution. I wasn't this big constitutional person. I just thought that the country was run a certain way. I thought that there was a right and a wrong over certain things. And to see people that I love not care about basic human things has been so shocking. That is what drives me nuts. And I was like, oh, it's Trump. It's not Trump. It's you.
Right.
It's you that makes me upset.
Here we are, this country that celebrates our freedom and celebrates our Constitution and who we are as a people. Yet more than half of us aren't standing up for it. And that's disappointing.
And we can have this conversation ad nauseum. I mean, I think, we get really heated, but then we talk about things like and I want to talk about what's happening in Texas. Now, this is insane to me. And there's a part of me, and I know it's never going to happen, Kim. I know it's never going to happen. But Texas should just say uncle. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I keep saying.
They're doing it. They're going
to do it. I know they're going to do it, but they shouldn't. They should just stop and understand, because if they do it, and I know that we're saying we shouldn't do it. We have independent commissions. We voted against it. We better friggin' do it. California better do it. These blue states better do it. But then we've blown it up. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen then. Then it's going to be this all-out gerrymandering war, and it's going to be a nightmare. And gerrymandering sucks. It is totally political. It is total BS. Democrats do it, Republicans do it. But what Texas is doing, letting Trump basically, he drew that friggin' map. He even said it out loud. We just want 5 more seats. F you. Like, this is, and like I said, and the Wall Street Journal wrote, mutual assured destruction. It is just stop. And that's what Texas should do. Greg Abbott should suck it, and he should just stop. Like, just be like, okay. And he'll never do it.
He won't, because he's a Trump guy. And now we have this. Never do it. We have this going on now with Vance going to Indiana and talking about, redistricting in Indiana and how to suck more Republican Congress people out of their maps. Same thing going on in Florida. And now you have blue states like California and New York and Illinois trying to counteract this. To what end?
Right.
To what end? Is everyone now going to have to draw maps, and we'll see who's the most successful at bringing the most out? And what does that say to the American voter?
That these people are going to choose what our districts are instead of voters, which sucks.
That's exactly
why gerrymandering sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're choosing us instead of us choosing them.
Right. I mean, we still have to vote them into office, but and I never understood this, and I don't understand like how districts, and I know it's complicated, but I always felt that districts largely should be drawn kind of like where school districts are, combined school districts. I feel like school districts have similar needs, right? Your properties are around each other. Your property values are around each other. Like, I don't know why that doesn't make sense. You see how some of these districts are drawn, and you're like, what the hell? Why do you have that corner over there? You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous, but we can't start over.
Was it Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert that they were trying to put into a different district where she would be assured of getting reelected or something? They're a bunch of cheaters. They really are. I'm so disappointed.
It goes on both sides. I mean, to say the Dems don't do it too, but it's supposed to happen every 10 years. Trump knows people are pissed. That's why. Now we could roll the dice and think that Texans are pissed enough, because it's not like they're guaranteed those 5 seats. It's just that it makes them a little more playable. And some of the districts they lose because they put 2 Democrats against each other, blah, blah, blah. But again, I feel like we need to advertise, if we're going to do this, that we don't want to. You know what I mean? We need to advertise that to America, all these blue states. Like, we are only doing this because Democrats are the only ones. Blue states are the only ones that want independent commissions on choosing district lines. Blue
in
states,
Texas,
red
it's
states
supposed to
never
happen
want it.
once every 10 years, independent, commission type of thing. I read something where a Democratic lawmaker who is involved in a blue state, trying to fight back, said, and it might have been Hochul from New York, said, I'm tired of trying to fight against them with one hand tied behind my back.
Exactly.
I'm tired of trying to counteract the damage without an even playing field.
Right.
So what, and that's funny. I was talking to a friend that I work with who said that you can't believe the Democrats are doing this and how ridiculous it is that they're calling out Texas with one breath and then the next breath saying California should do the same thing.
What are we supposed to do?
Right. To what I said is you left us no choice. You left us no choice.
The Republicans are Lucy.
Right.
And we are tired of being Charlie Brown. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to do? Think that they're going to play by the same fucking rules? They don't play by the rules. They bet that we are going to play by the rules. They're like the stupid Dems, the stupid Dems. They're just going to sit back and wait while we take this country over.
They're
you know
nice,
what I mean?
And they're
docile.
Nice.
And they actually believe in the rules. You know what I mean? It's the same shit about why Merrick Garland never was able to get confirmed as a Supreme Court justice.
You want to think that the tropes from the movies happen, that love wins, that good outplays evil, that
maybe in the long game.
In the end, democracy prevails. But what we know from reality is that the survival of the fittest, friends, those who bite first eat first, right? Like those who are the strongest win in the end. And Democrats have been so like, this is the way we do things. This is the decorum. This is how we act.
When
everybody
go low,
nice.
We go high.
I hate to say that it's time to play dirty, but you know what? Take off your shirt and let's fight in the effing parking lot because I am through. If we want to fight for good, apparently we have to get down and dirty. That's the way you want it. Prepare to lose.
Well, we hope, but we have to also sell that's why we're doing it to our supporters, because we've been saying for years that this is wrong, and exactly what all the other people have been saying. I can't believe the Dems have been doing this. So we have a PR problem with what we're going to do if Texas is going to do it. But I think that the day has come where Democrats are finally able to say, well, what the hell do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to do? Look at what has been going on. What do you want us to do? Just sit by while they cheat? They're cheating right now. I mean, it's stupid.
Here's the problem also. And I, as I mentioned, we're talking about bullying and kids being bullied the other day and, only telling your kid to only hit if you're hit first. Right. But we're at the point with Republicans that we've been hit first a bunch of times.
Yep.
So is it time for us to start hitting first?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's why they escaped left Texas, right? They're like, even though they have to go back eventually, right? They're trying to do what they can.
I'm not advocating actual physical violence. I just want you to know that. I'm advocating being smart and taking action before they take action.
Yeah.
I'm advocating being the first to the punch in making policy changes, in being smarter than them, and being in election matters. That's what I'm advocating. I'm not advocating physical violence, just FYI.
I love that. I love how Kim had to clarify that. Absolutely. I don't know. I'm so sick of the hypocrisy that they're trying to call on Democrats while they are literally the party of hypocrisy. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. And voting against your own best interest. Yvonne, my younger sister once said, we like Trump for his lower taxes, but then they went to Pride Day in San Francisco. So you're supporting same-sex folks, and you go to Pride Day, but then you turn around and vote for someone who undermines their very existence.
And put tariffs on everything. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, again, it's crazy. You put a story in there, speaking of lawmakers, which is really, really funny. A woman who said females should not hold elected office now wants to be elected to office. And she's actually the daughter of Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs and is running for a seat in the Arizona state legislature. That's kind of funny. I mean,
girlfriend is one of the biggest idiots I've ever met in my life. Not that I've met her, but met her through this story in this paper. Okay. Her name is Miley Biggs.
Miley Biggs.
Running for state senate and in, I think it's Arizona, right?
Yeah, Arizona. Yeah.
She said this: I'm grateful to run with great conservatives, Representatives Hendricks and Powell. Ronald Reagan, she quotes, said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. Really? Because you and your party are actually bringing it toward extinction really fast, sister. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them to do the same. For one day, we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States, where men were free. My parents taught me to love my country, the Constitution, eye roll, and value my freedoms. I've watched so many good people in my life serve this country in the military, blah, 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 blah. Religion, Father in heaven, strive to do his will.
Right.
And here she comes. She's very young. And you know what she's the kind of person who has done? She has sucked up everything that her daddy has told her and about women belonging in the kitchen and women belonging to have the babies. And she has decided that she's going to turn around and regurgitate all of it on us.
Yeah.
This is what she is. Here's Miley Biggs. And Miley once went on a podcast and she had some very suspicious shit to say. And I don't usually swear very often, but God, she's just such a hypocrite. She said this, listen, on the, what was it? On the Maddie show. Maddie
McCurdy program.
Maddie McCurdy. She said, honestly, I don't know if I would ever vote for any female. I don't know, she said, if females should be in office. She said with a laugh. I don't think women should hold office in general. Like, it's a man's position. That's my stance. I think women should, run the home. There's even so many videos on TikTok where so many girls are waking up and are like, whoever fought for my right to work, like, I hate them. I hate a 9-to-5 schedule. Like, I get home and I don't want to do anything else. Women aren't built for this. I just want to be a wife. I just want to be a mom. You know what, Miley? Good. Be a wife, be a mom, raise more little conservative, Republican, Bible vomiting little robots, and leave the real work to the people that actually want the work, can do the job, and have a brain in their head. What an idiot. What a bona fide F-word idiot.
Here's the thing. Okay. I always preface this whenever there's a woman that says this, I want to be a wife. I want to be a mom. I want to stay at home. That's fine, if that's your choice. But the reason why, after women got the right to vote and then were able to, have a credit card without their husband's signature and buy things without a husband's signature, is because when the husband left them, beat the shit out of them, did all those things, the woman was able to get a job with a reasonable pay and stand on their own 2 fucking feet. That's why, Miley, women wanted the right and wanted to be able to not only have a job in the workplace, but then not be assaulted in the workplace, not have their boss put their hand up their skirt in the workplace, have equal pay in the workplace. So you can thank all the women that came before you, because God forbid the man or the husband that you get married to does terrible things to you and leaves your ass. You can go get a job to take care of the kids in your home. Okay?
You could actually have a credit card. Guess what, Miley? It's 2025. You can own your own house. You could have your own credit card. They won't take your kids away from you.
This is why history is important. People are not taught history. They don't understand it. They're like, why did I get the right to work out of the... My God, because not every situation ends up rainbows and butterflies, sweetheart, or you're just unfulfilled. Your children leave the house and you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs and you're like, maybe I want to go to work. That's why. That's why. It's there's just so many women that worked just for the option. That's it. Just for the option.
I want our daughters to have the opportunity to do whatever they want to do. If they want to stay home with their kids, fantastic.
Fine.
If they want to use the education they got, great. Go do it. Go make a difference in the world, with whether that's raising kids or whether that's in Congress or whether it's playing music or whether it's acting on stage, whatever it is. Being a doctor, pick your passion and go make it happen. But and I think you are raising our daughters much different than Miley Biggs was raised.
Yeah.
I want her to have the options to do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
And when you tell me women shouldn't be able to hold these jobs, this is a man's job, well, now we've got a problem together.
Yeah.
I want my daughter to be able to think that she is as intellectually capable as any man out there. I was raised in a way by my mom to always have a backup plan.
Exactly.
My parents are divorced, and while my dad wasn't a deadbeat dad, paid child support, he was always in our life, and I love my dad. My mom had a choice to make. She, thank God, had a college education and was a teacher, but times were tough, and most of our money went to pay a mortgage because she wanted to keep a roof over our heads.
Yeah.
And she told us over and over again, if I hadn't gotten an education, if I didn't have this job, we would be living somewhere that is not in a house in a nice area. We would not be having pizza on payday, which is when we got to have pizza. We would not be doing these things.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a backup plan, she said, always have your own bank account. All right. Which I do, but there's hardly anything in there, but I do because my mom said have your own bank account. I'm like, okay, just for emergencies, have your own bank account with no one else's name on it but yours, and make sure that you have a backup plan and that you'll be able to take care of your kids if anything happens to your husband, whether by accident or by choice. Be careful and be aware and be ready.
Yeah. It's just, she's young. She wasn't taught. And that's why Trump likes uneducated people. You know what I mean? That don't know their history. It's, and it wasn't that long ago, which is not funny. It's the sad part. It hasn't even been 100 years. You know what I mean? And she's not obviously being taught that. And if she was, she wasn't paying attention. I don't know. It's really, really sad. It's really, really sad. And to kind of spit in the face of all the women who, honestly, some lost their lives fighting for the rights that she's just casually wanting to give up, is sad. It really, really is sad. And
if she wants to be the world's biggest bonehead,
yeah,
and say it's a man's job and I'm just not capable,
yeah,
why in the world is she then turning around and putting her name on a ballot when she thinks it's a man's job and women should just stay in the kitchen? What are you doing, Miley?
I think she probably wants to take things back. I mean, someone was saying she wants to repeal the 19th Amendment or something. What the hell are you talking about? Miley Biggs is Andy Biggs' daughter. Biggs' own family begged people not to vote for him.
These are crazy people.
Yeah, it's
almost not her fault. I mean, really, she was raised this way. She has no education. She has no brain. She might have a brain, but it's turned to mush from years of being underused.
I don't know. With the internet nowadays, with the internet nowadays, I mean, I just feel, I guess, no. I mean, you can be insulated. And with the internet, you can just be fed bullshit all day. The same. That's the problem. The internet is not the same for everybody. That is the problem with the internet. Not everybody sees the same internet, and it's crazy. It really, really is. I want my daughter to be a doctor, lawyer, a Supreme Court justice, Mindy says. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Deidre says, Biggs, who has a political science degree, joked in December podcast about repealing the 19th Amendment. Yeah.
Outrageous. And so the hypocrisy for her running for office is just like, at first, as you can tell, I was really angry. And now I kind of feeling pity for her. Like, I feel sorry for her and who she is as a person and how she has to go through life with these completely warped ideas. I mean, sad that she has to spew them out to the rest of us. I would rather her stay in her kitchen and spew them to herself. But how sad is that?
But then she's raising other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
ooh, to think like her. That's the crazy part. You know what I mean? It's you can't get rid of you can't breed out stupid sometimes. You know what I mean?
What did they what was the Forrest Gump line? Stupid is as stupid does.
Or the line like, I wish stupid would hurt, because then you know what I mean? Then you know you're being stupid.
Thanks for the compliment, Mindy. Yeah. And so is Marley. Like, these girls are can you ever imagine Marley or Julia taking a back seat to any dude? Like, these are strong girls that are independent and they're feisty and they're smart and they've had advanced ideas from since they could speak, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think that's because of, the households in which they are raised. Yeah. Definitely. Eileen has, it's been true, Vicky, but it's been whitewashed so much that ignorant people and those too young to remember are taken in. Again, and that's going back to, you have to be taught the right history. And that's why Trump wants to take away true history. He only wants it to be, right, again, rainbows, butterflies, the USA, we did everything right. White people are great and we never did anything wrong. We don't need to bash people in today's age for our ancestors' mistakes, but we need to know them so we don't make them again.
Vicky says, this is right. Remember? And you were talking about this a show or two ago.
Yes.
Vicky. That's how Charlie Kirk can tell the girls that they should go to college for their Mrs. degree in 2025. Wild to me.
Who never went to college. You know what I mean?
On.
Exactly.
And no, Kevin, if women had more power, I know you asked the question facetiously, but you're completely right. Then Epstein would not have been able to get away with exploiting young women. If there were more women in positions of power making choices, I don't think so.
Well, that's a good transition then, because Ghislaine Maxwell was there, right? She's a woman, right? Very powerful woman. Was she just wrapped up in it? Was she a Miley Biggs just blindly led along? Is she a victim that is now in prison? Or was she a powerful woman that became an abuser herself? I mean, how much do we want to abdicate the responsibility from Maxwell to what Epstein did?
It's really interesting. Karen asked this question, and I'll take away Miley, the dumbass.
Yeah.
Karen asked this question: do guys really want this kind of person in their lives? And I look at Miley and I look at Ghislaine as in the same way in this regard. There are men out there that aren't the best and brightest, and they don't want to be challenged, especially by a woman. So yeah, there are men that want someone that doesn't have much of a brain. They're not looking for an equal partner. They're not looking for someone to talk politics with at the dinner table or have debates with. They're not looking for someone they feel is capable. They're looking for another dependent that, can maybe cook up a sandwich and make dinner and do the laundry. And that's it. That won't question them. And that will be, again, to use the word, docile and not much of a thinker. Yeah, I think there are a lot of men that don't care if women are interesting or smart, sadly.
Karen says, true. My dad didn't want someone who would stand up to him, but she did. And someone was saying that Maxwell was abused by her dad. That wouldn't surprise me that they read that. I don't think that anybody that does what she did cannot not have some abuse in their life. I don't think that anybody that does horrific things comes from a happy childhood.
No.
There has to be something horrific in your life, unless you're just an absolute born monster, which I think there are very few and far between people like that. I definitely, I hope, you know what I mean? I hope there aren't people that are just born this way. Tragically, I think that they do have some abuse. Those that are abused become abusers themselves. Not everybody, but you often see that happen. But let's move on to the Epstein thing. As Kim had mentioned earlier, Maxwell's been moved to a much less security prison for, I don't know why. That never happens for sex offenders, especially people that have been accused of such horrific crimes as she had. I don't know why. Why would this happen under President Donald Trump? But let's be fair here, because what's happened over the past couple of days now involves, nobody is effing surprised, Mr. former President Bill Clinton. Now, we've seen the pictures. Bill Clinton shaking Epstein's hand. Now there's pictures of him getting a massage now she was 22. The picture says she was a 22-year-old masseuse from Epstein's Island. But the details are that he was on the island chit-chatting, talking up the girls. And Hillary Clinton's been brought in also for the questioning too, which I find to be very, very interesting.
It's just an effort to take the focus off of Trump.
But honestly, no, keep the focus on Trump. But Bill Clinton was just, honestly, I think he was obviously on Epstein's Island as well. Throw his ass in prison too.
I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
Oh God, no. Absolutely.
I mean, we know he had sexy stuff, like, sex
and
scandals
he is
and
a
things.
gross man. Yeah. Totally gross man. And he's old. I wouldn't be surprised if he I'm not saying that this should happen, but he's old. And this would break him, I think. You know what I mean? Like Bill Clinton he does not look the picture of health to begin with.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that heart stuff.
So I think, but you're absolutely right. I definitely think that Trump is just loving the fact that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have been brought in. But again, if pictures mean guilt, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
so Bill Clinton is not representing me as a constituent in the United States and in the White House. He was a president a long time ago. And if he did crimes, then he should pay for them.
Absolutely.
But my concern is that currently there's a man in the Oval Office that's accused of these things as well.
Exactly.
And so don't point at former presidents, point at the current president. That's what matters right now to me, is getting this person who is representing all of us out of office. He does not deserve to be there. And there are so many pictures of Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein and all of these things. So you can try to trot the Clintons in, but it doesn't take the spotlight off of you and what you likely did as well.
Do you want to know what I thought about the other day? And I think I'm so glad you put this picture up, because it reminds me, and it's a point I've been trying to make. I think the reason why Melania is staying with the bastard is because she's caught up in this. She's caught up in it. I think. Exactly. Thank you. I think she's part of the sex parties. I'm sorry. I know it sounds absolutely disgusting and it's a terrible allegation to make, but I can't see why she stays with the bastard.
I don't know if it's true, but I read that they met because Epstein introduced her to Trump, or that she was one of the folks at these Epstein parties that Trump met in this way.
Thank you.
So
you know what I mean? There's some sort of incriminating evidence, because why would you stay? What? She does not even want to hold the guy's hand. And it's blatant she hates him. He has something on her. And he's like, if I go, you're going. So I think, look at them. There has to be something. So, and it's gross. I think that she is Maxwell to Trump. You know what I mean? Like there is some sort of double dating grossness going on. And I don't know. I don't, you know, I'm horrified by what's happened to all of these victims. And it sucks that it's taking so effing long for all of this to come out. But they're going to drag it out and drag it out and drag it out. You know, Kash Patel and all of those other people, they're awful. They made it their mission this was the number one thing they were going to do. And I think that they know hands down that Trump is dirty. And I don't know what they're waiting for. I just don't. I don't know. It's sad. It's absolutely sad. But there you go. That's your president. Freaking pervert as well. So
I just don't want people to lose the focus, and they're going to do all these hearings and they're going to, you know, try to take the focus off of him. Don't forget, he's in the thick of it. They are both.
I don't think any Dem is going to let this slide. You know what I mean? I definitely, I don't think that the Democrats would be stupid to not respond to Texas and let the Epstein story go. Those are the two things that the Dems need to stay firm on. I mean, do you think that a guy that bought a beauty pageant, talked about grabbing girls by the pussy and you know, is so freaking gross that he drew a line at an island full of underage girls? Give me a break. Give me a break. Come on now. Just give me a break. So yeah, no, he's totally dirty. He's always been dirty. He's totally dirty. All right. We got times for some lighter stories. All right, let's do some lighter stories. Well, let's keep it on females though, because we've been like on a female day.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about this last time, but we didn't get to it. It's kind of a serious story. How do you feel about this? Uber starting a service for women to choose female drivers and fellow riders. How do you feel about this? So good. Uber is going to start this option where both the driver, if it can choose women, if it's a female driver, and female passengers can say, I would prefer to have. Now you're not guaranteed it. It's not a guarantee, but you could say I have a preference. And apparently it's not. I was like, isn't that discrimination? Like, you're like, eh. But apparently it's not, because it's just an option and you're not guaranteed it.
If there weren't so many issues with incidents of attacks or creepy stuff happening, then we wouldn't need this. But because there are, and because it makes women feel more safe, go for it. There is no shortage of male drivers, and there is no shortage of male passengers that will check off the either box, and everyone will still have all the fares they need. And so if it makes you feel better to take a ride from a woman at night, so be it.
Okay, this was the other part of my discussion I wanted to have. Men that are listening, how does it make you feel when these features come out? Like, I'm married to a great man. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of that the man versus bear debate that always comes out. Like, women are like, I choose the bear. How does that make you feel? Because men are the number one predator of women. And I can't imagine, as a man that's a good man, and I'm hoping that everybody that's watching my show is a good man, how that must make you feel.
I'm waiting to see how the men feel, but I would say, I'll speak on behalf of the man in my house who has a wife and a daughter, and who would always choose their safety over a thought of him being discriminated against. He would always want his daughter to be safe, his wife to be safe, any woman he would want to be safe. So for him, while it's a sad commentary on society,
right?
Gotta do it. Kevin, if women feel safer, I'm all for it. There's a good guy, right?
But what if you were, and then the men, what if you were an Uber driver and you're driving around and, it has to be, and I'm not saying, I don't even want to say ego, an identity hit. like your gender,
Mm-hmm.
who you know, the party you're part of, right? That sucks.
Totally sucks.
You know, it sucks. And I'm hoping to I'm raising Dylan to not be that way, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be a protector. You do not, do all of these things. You want to be somebody that if you're alone in the woods with a woman, they would want to be next to you and not the fucking bear, right?
Ricky says this is not about me.
That's a good answer. Yeah, it is not about you.
No.
Absolutely right. But I just can't imagine my gender being described overall as a threat. Does that make sense? That is an odd emotion that I can't understand because I'm obviously the opposite gender. But it just is, it's a weird thing that actual features of technology are created against my gender. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing when you think about it.
2 good answers. Luis writes, this is not practical because fewer women drive late at night, those night shifts. So the extended wait times probably make it more dangerous.
Ooh,
plus woman on woman crime is a thing too, he writes. Then Kevin is saying, listen, he's not taking this personally as an affront to all men. Right. He says, she doesn't know me, so I'm not offended if she doesn't want to ride with me. She doesn't even know me.
True. Yeah. That's true. That's very true. I was just talking about the generalization, the story aspect of it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really just really weird. You can't oppress the oppressor. Touche. Liz says, about a year ago, my daughter said she'd take an Uber home from SFO and it was midnight. No, I went to the airport to pick her up, even though it was way past bedtime. Her safety comes first. Cheryl, I periodically have to take Lyft and mostly get men, and they're from other countries that drive well and are respectable. So I'm okay with men. I've had 2 women. One was really good. I have only had one instance, and this was a while ago, where I was inebriated. I will put it bluntly. I was 3 sheets to the wind. This was years ago, but I'll never forget it. My friend put me in a Lyft. I don't take Uber. She put me in a Lyft, and I'll never forget it. It was a guy. And she just like kind of tossed me in the back of the car, and she opened the passenger side door. She took a picture of the guy. She looked at me. She's like, I know who you are. I have your picture. Get her home safely.
Yeah.
She's like, I know who you are. And I am telling you, like, I was out, like, and like, I remember, like, I was not with it the whole drive home. And he pulls up to the front of my house and he's like, you're home. And like, it was so dangerous, like dangerous in the way, like I like abdicated all. It was terrible, but he got me home safe. I will say it. But yeah, she was awesome. And we still talk about it. I'm friends with her still. And we still talk about it. It's like, you put so much, you get in a car with a stranger. Like it is literally what we are taught not to do. But that's what it is.
Heather writes, if you're a dude walking toward me at night and I switch to the other side of the street, either you understand it's not personal or you're offended because you're part of the problem. What's it going to be? Now, I'll take that debate further. Let's take it to race, because there are some people who would say, I see a black person coming on the other side of the street and I cross the street. And that I disagree with. That's racist.
Yes.
But there is a physical difference between men and women. So
yes, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you. And the reason why is, and I always tell my daughter this, and I don't know if she's going to hear me. My daughter is like a chihuahua. Okay. And I tell her this all the time. She talks like she can take on the world. And I go, what are you really going to do, kiddo? We went to a rage room for my son's birthday because he always wanted to do one. My daughter could barely break a glass bottle. I'm telling you. Like, she threw it and it barely broke. I'm telling you. And I look at her and I go, you think you could take somebody in a fight? You could barely break a glass bottle. Okay. Like, stop talking like you're, Rocky Balboa over here. But she thinks she can, she's totally that kid. So while I would think the same way. Like, I could defend myself. No, I have my keys ready. I have all of, and I walk with a purpose. We did the training, right? Remember when we had to do the training?
Totally.
You walk with a purpose. You have your you're walking. You know where you're going. You
walk like a badass and
exactly
walk
I know where I'm going.
Long stride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So you do those things because I know damn well, even somebody a man, couple inches taller than me, all he needs to be is stronger. And I'm done, dude. Like I could have all of the desire to overpower somebody, but I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? So you just have to know certain things, but that's a man versus woman thing, not a race thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I guess the Uber thing is, it makes good business sense and it's a good option. Yeah. But when I first read it, I was like, ugh. I instantly thought the man versus bear thing. And I was like, this is just another example of it. And because I'm raising a boy to be a man, it hurts me a little bit. You know, it just stings that this is the world he's growing up in, but it's true. You know what I mean? I mean, it's hard out there because sometimes men suck. Like, and I don't mean that to be mean to the men that are listening. Did you see what's happening at WNBA games? And I'm sorry, but I know that it's men are doing this. It is not women that are doing this. They're throwing dildos. Yeah. Dildos. On the freaking during the game at the women. Well, almost hit a player. It's sexist. It's dangerous because you can hit them during the game. And it sucks. You know what I mean? Yeah. It sucks. And it's all because, WNBA, it's getting a lot of attention. It's moving up there in attention as it should. It's awesome. I love it. But can we just stop already? I mean, it's at first, okay, ha, ha, ha. They've been like kind of shrugging it off. Yeah. But it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This 23-year-old fan was arrested for throwing an object during a July 29th game. Another guy was charged as well. Are they that small? Are they that, threatened that they literally have to they have to think about it ahead of time. It's not like you could buy a dildo at the game. You know what I mean?
No, you have to come with that.
You drank too many beers and you threw it. You thought about it. You don't like women that much that you bought a ticket to the WNBA, then you bought a dildo, then you drank the beers, and then you threw it. That's lame.
Are we sure it's dudes? Is it not people that are just trying to be funny? Like, where did this whole thing start? What was this in response to?
Well, the article that I'm reading in the New York Post names a guy that threw it. So that's why I'm saying a dude. Delbert Carver is a guy. So that's why I was calling out a guy. I mean, I'm not seeing women being named for throwing them. So that's why I'm calling out guys. So I don't know.
Now it's become a thing. Now at, multiple games, people are throwing these sex toys out onto the court.
It's stupid. I just feel like I'm trying to see if there's one where a woman threw it. I'm not seeing an incident in which they're naming.
People have been arrested for doing that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, that guy was arrested. So I don't know. I'm taking it to be a sexist thing and it's a joke thing. But why would you do that? You know,
there are at least 5 incidents of this happening.
Thank you.
At WNBA games. One of the people who was arrested was booked on suspicion of a felony count of public display of obscene materials and 2 misdemeanor counts of assault and disorderly conduct. Wow.
Right.
He said, listen, just a prank, people. Don't get all alarmed. No big deal.
It's no big deal. But see, that's what they do. They pat us on the head while and I'm using the collective woman, we're just trying to be taken seriously in the WNBA. You see what I'm saying? And I know that, and maybe again, they're going to be like, why are you being hysterical? Calm down. You know what I mean? Take it easy, lady. That's the part that makes my blood boil, right? Because as women, we shouldn't get hysterical. It's just a game. Exactly, SJ Lola. It's the gaslighting. Why have you seen a dildo thrown during an NBA game? Show me the video. If it is, I'll apologize. But I think it's bullshit. All right? And they're trying to be taken seriously.
Yeah. Well, they should be. Look how hard they're playing. These are true athletes. Yes.
So that's my whole thing. It's just women are making huge waves in sports right now, and they should be praised for that. And by throwing sex toys on the court, you are, whether you think you are or you're not, you're undermining that. Okay? Yeah. You are. And you think you're being funny and it's just a joke. Ask yourself why you're doing it, right? Why are you not throwing flowers or something that's praiseworthy? Why are you not asking for their autograph instead of throwing a freaking dildo?
Why are you throwing anything? It's a basketball court. Are you trying to trip somebody? Are you trying to hurt somebody? Keep the court clear so the game can go on.
Exactly. I mean, this weekend, right? Is it this weekend? Yeah, this weekend. There's going to be the first woman to umpire a regular season Major League Baseball game.
Right.
I mean, that's awesome. We should be, celebrating these inroads. And it just goes back to that Miley chick. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Yeah. We've never had a woman umpire a Major League Baseball game. And you're like, is that a big deal? Why is that a big deal? But think about that. Like, why shouldn't a woman umpire a Major League Baseball game? Why should men only do that? It's not like we don't have eyes. It's not like we don't know how the game works, right? It's not that big it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it is, right? It's just.
I'm trying to figure out how much it costs to go to a WNBA game. Like, why would you pay in order to just go do something nasty? So I'm trying to look it up now on this. Here it is. You can see me looking up. I'm trying to find out how much does it cost. I want to know. Verify I'm a human. I'm a human.
How much is the WNBA ticket?
How much is it? I want to know how much it costs that you would do this to make a stupid point like that.
Well, let's see. So regular season games can run as low as $20 to $50 for upper level seats. Courtside, $200. Playoff and finals tickets can cost $500. So way cheaper than NBA tickets right now.
Cheaper than NBA tickets. But why would you pay, like, I don't care, $50, $100, whatever it is, just to go make a sexist point and throw a sex toy on the court?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Because
people are dumb.
That's why. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's just, it's really, really dumb. And it's crazy. Okay, we have time for one more story, and this has to do with women, kind of. I mean, it has to do with what we can do and men can't do.
Our show today. This is great. Yeah.
Well, we can do it, men can't do it, and that, of course, is having babies. But this can include men, and it's including Silicon Valley. Have you heard of the Manhattan Project?
No, tell me more.
Okay, so the Manhattan Project is what it's being dubbed.
I mean, there was the Manhattan Nuclear Project, right?
This is not that.
Okay.
This is not that. Apparently, this is all stemming. Now, a few years ago, I don't know how long ago it was. 2018. A Chinese scientist revealed that he had secretly engineered the birth of the world's first gene-edited baby.
No.
Fast forward to today, and Silicon Valley venture capitalists, futurists, East Coast entrepreneurs, and pronatalists, who we've talked about before, who fear the falling birth rate, you know that, they're pushing this technology forward. Enter the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project's sole mission is to prevent and ultimately eradicate devastating inherited diseases.
Okay.
They believe that no child should be born with a genetic condition like Huntington's disease, cystic fibrosis, or an inherited form of cancer. So they want to use things like CRISPR, you know how they go in and they edit the DNA. So this is my question. How do you feel so for instance, if you had a history of, let's say, cancer in your family and you wanted to have a family, would you want to remove that possibility in your future children?
I guess the question is, I mean, who doesn't want a world free of childhood cancer? Who doesn't want a world free of disease and, horrible plight and pain and suffering? Who doesn't want a world without that? The question I have is, at what cost? At what ethical cost? At what physical cost? We don't know yet. When you pluck out a cancer gene, what happens over here? When you tamper with this, what happens with that? Where does it stop? First you're editing for cancer, and then you're editing for blue eyes, and then you're editing for,
there you
I
go.
don't know, pick your favorite.
Right.
Then we have designer babies.
Right.
I just feel like there's too many ethical questions, and we aren't ready yet as a world and a society to do this yet. There's too much we don't know and too much at risk when ethics are brought up. And scientists may think they have it all figured out, but we're at the beginning of this CRISPR technology, and we're at the beginning of understanding how genes work in multiple species. I don't think we're ready to go there yet, and it scares the holy bejesus out of me that anyone would think we are.
In this article I'm reading, they say some futurists call this Gattaca stack technology. If anyone remembers the 90s movie Gattaca, very good movie. Might just rewatch it. It's about genetically engineered people that could transform human reproduction. I will say this. I agree with you. Like, who doesn't want to say, if breast cancer, runs in my family, like that terrible form of breast cancer runs in my family. Instead of removing my breasts early before that even develops, or my daughter or whatever, I could just take that out before it even happens. On the other hand, and I know this is going to sound very callous, okay? And I know there's pronatalists that are going to hate when I say this. Some people are just supposed to get sick. You know what I mean? Like and I'm not, and this is awful to say, but like humans, animals, like in a human animal way, there are some animals that are, no, but like there are some animals that are born and they're just not healthy and they die, right? Then we say that animal it wasn't born right and it had to die. But when we talk about humans, we look at it in a totally different way because we love them and we have medical technology to make them live longer. And we look at it totally differently, right? And do we want to live in a world in which nobody dies? Like,
we're all going to die. We're all going to die of old age unless they fix that too.
Well, can we live in a world where disease doesn't kill anybody and we all live for a very long time?
I would argue that when you look at a disease like, say, diabetes, right? Used to kill you. Now we know enough that we have insulin, that we have ways of treating these things. Right. And a person with diabetes can live a nice long life, type 1 or type 2, whatever, pick your poison. We have cured certain diseases. We have medical advancements and technologies that enable us to help people so that they don't die of diseases. Look at AIDS. I mean,
right. There you go. Great example.
I would advocate that people are not supposed to die, that people shouldn't die of disease if we can help it. I don't want people to die of disease. I think the fact that we've cured diseases and that we see the effect we can have is proof and evidence of that. But the questions become all of these other things about how we don't know what we're doing yet, creating life. I saw that they're creating life out of DNA from 3 different DNA donors to help weed out disease. Like, are we creating Frankenbaby? Now you're getting into a zone where I can't support you. If we have the legit technology to do something that's not going to screw everything else up, and it's not going to put us into this fuzzy, weird gray zone of like some sci-fi horror movie, okay, I'm on board. Yeah. Let's cure AIDS. Let's cure cancer. Let's help the world. Let's help people not suffer. Oh my God. I worry all the time. I pray, which is so crazy for me to say,
We're turning her into a prayer over here.
That my kids are healthy.
Of course.
Kids are safe. These are things that if you're the mom of a sick kid, are you wanting them to go in with CRISPR and edit that out?
Absolutely.
So I went through IVF, right?
Yeah.
When you go through IVF, they take the egg and they combine it with the sperm and it grows in a dish. And during that time, they ask you, do you want to test these embryos to see if there's any chromosomal abnormalities or if there's anything, there are diseases they can test for at that stage that they know. And so then they can weed out the ones that are healthy from the ones that aren't. Who would want to put the diseased ones in? Right. Who would want to put the ones that are going to, have Tay-Sachs disease and die a horrible death when they're the minute they're born? No. So of course you test them. And of course you figure out. Now, biology would suggest that the ones that will take are going to be the healthy ones anyway. And then the ones that are diseased or there's something wrong with would fall away. But if you can test and figure out which are the sick ones, that's great. What they didn't say to me is, do you want to figure out which ones are going to have blue eyes and blonde hair? Do you want to figure out the ones that have an IQ level of X? Like, do you want to figure out these things? Not that they could, but, no, they didn't do that. So I guess I just have too many concerns right now. And I feel like we're not ready to go to this level. We will be someday. And when the world gets together and there aren't different rules in China than there are in the United States about medical ethics and biological ethics, then I think we'll be ready for that.
But honestly, and just on that note, everything I've seen, especially, at least in this effing country, I don't think we're responsible enough for this kind of technology. Right. I don't think humans as a species have enough self-control. I think that's a good way of putting it. I don't think we have enough self-control to not go too far. Does that make sense? Like, I think we're always going to want perfection. And what we think is our warped sense of perfection, right? So whatever the time is telling us is perfection. And then we're going to go too far. Look what we do with plastic surgery, right? Like these rich people that go and get plastic surgery, and then you look at them after a few years and they have, dysmorphia. They don't even know what they've done because they can't stop, because there's something that's happening to them because of human nature. Something's going wrong. So I don't think humans have the ability to monitor themselves. And I don't think also scientists can monitor their greed. You know what I mean? Like, I think if they get paid enough, or they might not be able to monitor their curiosity, right? Like, there's going to be some wackadoo scientist that's smart enough to be like, you know what? What if I just do that? Look at the Chinese scientist. Yeah. He secretly did it in 2018. Didn't tell anybody. And everyone was all pissed off at him. They're like, you did what? He's like, I just had to know. I just had to know. So that in and of itself proves that it only takes one wackadoo to be like, and we're smart, but we just can't stop ourselves from doing shit.
No, we can't. We can't. Humanity, man. Mobius writes the BRCA gene.
Yeah, the BRCA gene
could stand to go. I have it. My sibs passed it to their children. At least we know about it in this generation. Completely agree. And I think it was someone else who then wrote, yeah, Kevin, maybe we'll be ready in the next century to get rid of things like that. At this point, you have it. Right. And so monitoring, detection, early, catching things early, you have a much better chance at a long life than we did last century when we didn't even know about it, right?
Yeah.
Medical advances, that's why I think things should be done. Luis, let's create the human version of a French bulldog, super cute, but cursed with a huge amount of health issues.
Oh yeah. And then they keep breeding them. And then that's a perfect example, Luis. Oh, and by the way, Luis, thank you so much for your earlier donation of $5. Thank you so very much. And he was talking about the mask wearing cosplayers actually obeying gang members who were here illegally rather than battling day laborers and hot dog men vendors. Thank you so much for donating to our show. But yeah, excellent point. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like if we are going to do something like using a technology like this, we really need to think about what we already do. And look at the bulldog, the French bulldog.
Yeah.
We know they're going to have breathing issues. We know that they're just going to snore, that they're going to have high vet bills.
Yeah.
We still breathe the shit out of them, right? We pay thousands of dollars to do it.
Well, I look at China and when they had their draconian birth laws where you could only have one kid and everybody wanted a boy because that was the, you'd have more status if you had a boy, and there were issues of infanticide with killing baby girls, like all of these things. If there was this technology back then, you would have a China full of dudes.
Yeah.
You may already have a China full of dudes, but and again, this is humanity. This is who we are as a species, right?
Yeah.
So we're, as you say, we're not responsible enough. And we're not ready for this. This is bad news, Betty. Nope.
Yeah. I don't think we're ready for the responsibility of gene editing, but you know what? It's already started. So, I think the cat's out of the bag. So sadly, the Manhattan Project. I love how they act like we have choice. You know what I mean? Like there's scientists already doing this crap. So,
but if we did have the ability to easily zap out a cancer gene and it wouldn't affect anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I was reading a scientific article about the possibility of doing that with sickle cell.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. That would be huge.
So much suffering alleviated. I mean, it's coming. It's coming, and I hope that it's done in a responsible, ethical way. But I'm all for alleviating suffering for sure.
But you want to know what else I just thought of? You know who would fight against this tooth and nail is Big Pharma. Big Pharma would fight it every step of the way.
Because
you get rid of disease.
Well,
why would they ever want to get rid of disease? They would fight it. They would probably pretend like, they'd probably be like, oh, you're killing the babies by making this technology or doing something. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if it'd ever come to fruition. Louise says, totally don't trust humans to do the right thing with genetics. Have no desire to live through Jurassic World, Resident Evil, and all the other science gone bad movies. I know. And I know, honesty, aren't we like living through enough nightmares in 2025? Do we need to add, any more historic moments in our current history right now? No, I don't think so. But we shall see. So keep your eye in the news because maybe it's happening. Honestly, I think it's probably already happening in China if that Chinese scientist has already done it. But I agree with you, Kim. I think that if I could eradicate diseases, I would. Big Pharma could be at the forefront of gene research if they were smart. They're never going to. There's too much money in, fighting the disease, not curing the disease. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to cure it. They don't want to cure it. All right. That is our show. Thank you guys so much for being here. I give a 2 thumbs up. If you guys weren't here at the beginning, I drank it all. Aperol
oh my God.
Spritz.
You sucked it right down.
No, I put it all in my cup. I put it all in my cup. I drank it all. But it was called Aperol Spritz. If you want something that's nice and light, check it out. Thank you to Louise for the $5 donation. The super chats, super stickers are always live, no matter whether you watch us live or recorded. And again, we love Patreon, we love PayPal, and our big monthly supporters. If you guys donate, I'll check PayPal more regularly. Rita, Karen, David, Damien, you guys have been big supporters regularly, and I want to give big shout outs to you guys as well. Click the thumbs up button. Show your support that way as well. It's free, and we always appreciate you there as well. And we'll see you here next Thursday. Stay cool. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're sprout, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.